Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts with breaking news.
Breaking this morning, more than 1,100 people are without power this morning in Douglas County. You can see from the OPPD outage map the main area affected in the area where I-80 and I-680 meet. We're not sure at this moment what caused this outage. Of course, we will be sure to first alert you to more details as soon as we have them.
All right, it is good to have you with us on this Tuesday. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole. I'm joined by Jared Lansford, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. We actually started this morning close to 20 degrees, but my, have those temps fallen.
We lost 15 degrees in about 3 hours. Now, normally the coldest part of the day is right around now, but it's been quite a drop over the last few hours, and we're down with the clear skies, and the number just keeps falling. We're at 5 at the moment, wind chill of 10 below. This will easily be the coldest morning we have the rest of the week, coldest day we have the rest of the week, and the wind isn't even all that strong. North at about 10 miles per hour. That has been backing off gradually, so that's some good news. But you can see where the wind's 5 to 15 miles per hour, and more of the double-digit numbers are across the southern portion of our viewing area, more single digits as you go a little farther north. And that colder air has settled down at 0 in Tacoma. Sorry for you folks waking up in west central Iowa this morning. You get the worst of this. We're right around 5 below with our air temperature. That's where the core of the cold air is farther northeast, and we're just getting grazed by the worst of it. So it's 5 in Omaha, 12 in Lincoln as this cold air drops south. Feels like number of 10 below. These have been flirting with 20 to 25 below in west central Iowa most of the morning. So a little pocket of some really nasty cold air there settling into the area. And satellite and radar shows why. We got this batch of flurries and snow showers moving to the east. That tried to bring a little coating in parts of the area. Jarrett may touch on that here in just a little bit. There's a little bit of snow coverage in west central Iowa. But this line of clouds, you get north of it, and that's where that cold air is, and that's right where we are at. So I'm going to show you how this plays out in the first alert forecast here. We're in the single digits. There's the sub-zero numbers in our northern counties, and it is just a cold, cold stretch of weather here as we make our way through the next 24 hours. We're at 13 degrees by noon. We make our way into the afternoon. By 3 o'clock, we're up to about 18 degrees, and by 5, we're up into the 16 degree range. So there's just not a lot of warmth to be had today. Then some clouds will roll in later. We make our way into the 7 to 8 o'clock hour, and you will see those clouds thicken up. And as we make our way overnight, those clouds move through. That'll help to keep the number up just a little bit. So we won't plummet into the single digits by tomorrow morning, and from there, we will start our climb up to 37 for the high on Wednesday, 48 on Thursday. Frankly, I don't think it matters how far into the 40s we get on Thursday, will it?
Not at all, no.
I mean, 40s will just feel great. Maybe we can sneak a 50 in there, a little out of reach, but it's possible.
It's nice that we're having a little bit of like a reward after all this cold temperatures.
Right out there.
Because after, Thursday and Friday, we are back down.
Yeah, we got another blast of cold air. This next one, likely the coldest of the season, and you can kind of see the early signs of it here when I show you the wind chill chart over the next several days. These are the morning wind chills over the next few days. You can see they get up into the 20s by Thursday and Friday, not bad at all. And then look at this here over the weekend. Each morning just a little bit colder. Saturday, then Sunday morning. And that leads us into Monday and Tuesday, where first alert weather days, because the coldest air of the season, the core of it, is going to be right over us. Air temperatures may not climb out of the single digits on Monday. And then by Tuesday, we could start off the day with our first below zero numbers of the season, with wind chills approaching 20 below. So let me show you what that looks like when we put some numbers to it. 47 on Friday, 20 on Saturday. So it starts to move in over the weekend, but we made first alert weather days for the core of the cold, which will likely be Monday. Could even sneak below zero Monday morning. It's likely Tuesday morning's the coldest, and then we'll start to see things moderate on Tuesday. If we had snow on the ground, it would be so much worse with this. But thankfully, that's not the case. A nice, really, really nasty batch of cold air dropping in by early next week.
Yikes, be prepared.
I know, I
Rusty,
know.
I think people are getting motion sickness looking at that 10-day.
A lot of ups and downs. Pay attention each day. It's a little different.
Imagine waking up during this cold without power. That's what some people are doing at this hour. It's affecting them. It also impacts traffic, too.
It is. It's one of those situations you're going out and about, starting your day, and you come across an intersection that's got no lights on it. And that's a problem. That could be dangerous. So let's talk about where we're seeing that as the case and how things are moving through that area. So we talked about the roughly 1,100 or so who are without power from OPPD. And this is the area that is highlighted as being without power. And it's roughly between about 90th and 120th as you go east to west. And then from south to north, it's about Q or so up to about Pacific. In that area is where you can encounter some of those intersections that don't have the working traffic signals at this point. And it's pretty obvious where we're seeing effects, isn't it? Let's zoom in a little bit on that. This is Center. This is a very busy stretch of Center, too, as you're approaching 680. Seeing the yellows, the oranges highlighting the intersections with 114th, 120th. And as people try to navigate that, things backing up. A problem that we have, as one of our reporters pointed out to us, is that people are not observing the traffic laws and stopping it and treating that as an always stop without those signals. You want to make sure you do that, because you just imagine pulling up to the intersection and people just flying through. Obviously, that's pretty dangerous. So use a little extra caution. Be sure you're leaving extra time to get through this area, not just this one, but anywhere in that box where you may encounter some of those delays that are showing up in the early going. We'll continue to monitor that and how things are continuing to proceed through the morning. Aside from that being the case, and of course some of our construction that's ongoing out and about, we're moving pretty well in the metro as we start off our day. And as Rusty alluded to, we do have a little bit of some road condition issues outside of the metro, which we'll revisit here a little bit more in just a bit. That's as you go north and east.
Okay.
Where they have those colder temperatures, they also have just a little bit of coating of snow on the ground.
All right, Jarrett, thanks. An update to a story that we've been covering for some time now, for about 2 years. A teenage killer will likely spend more time in custody. Not for the murder, but because of a recent escape. In the last year, Nebraska's Health and Human Services say the teen concluded his 7 months of rehab was successfully done. He was then ordered to undergo more treatment, and then months later, he escaped custody in Lincoln.
But it's really a concern more so from my standpoint about public safety. You know, he's had many opportunities to do things to rehabilitate himself and hasn't done so.
In the meantime, he was 13 when he stormed into a home at 52nd and Curtis and shot 19-year-old Alon Reed. Douglas County will wait for him to be sentenced for the escape in Lincoln. The murder case in Omaha remains open.
Happening tonight, the Valley City Council will decide on the future of one of its police canines. The hearing over a story we brought for you right here on First Alert 6. The council will decide if Sonic, you see there, is healthy enough to return to duty for Valley Police after he was allegedly neglected in the care of a longtime trainer. Sonic may also end up being sold to another law enforcement agency.
All right, now to the First Alert 6 safety desk. I'm joined by Maria Cade, who has some really important information about dementia.
I know, something that's so important, and there's a new study that's actually coming out that shows cases of dementia are actually set to double, according to this report, by 2060. So not some good news there. Dementia, of course, is the loss of memory, language, and other cognitive abilities. The data in the report shows roughly 42% of Americans over 55 will be diagnosed with it. Now, that report surveyed roughly 15,000 patients whose health records were followed for more than 20 years. Researchers say one of the main reasons for the rise in dementia cases is because of the aging baby boomer generation. As they get older, those cases going up. Now, the study also found Black adults and women are actually more likely to develop dementia compared to white adults and men.
You know, but at least the promising news is at least we're not going undiagnosed, right? We want to have more realistic count.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay.
And hopefully, you know, as they continue to do more research with this, they'll be able to work towards some better solutions.
Absolutely. All right, in the meantime, switching gears now, you have some really good information about neurovirus. This is the season.
I know. We've been talking about this one for a long time. Continues to spread across the country, and you might not know that most household cleaners and even many hand sanitizers actually do not get rid of this virus. Cases are up across the country compared to last year, and when you talk about that virus, it can survive on surfaces for long periods. One expert says many household cleaners are not effective, and they might say on the cleaning label they're 99.9% effective against bacteria, but it turns out many times neurovirus is actually in that 0.1% that it does not work on. And the experts say this is because of the virus's makeup. Its tough protective protein coat makes it harder for cleaners to penetrate. Now, he says companies do make specific products that do kill neurovirus. Definitely want to check the label to see if it's included, or you can actually make your own too.
By mixing bleach with water, 3/4 of a cup of bleach per gallon of water. Now, if you don't want to use bleach, for example, on your countertops, you can try a disinfectant that contains hydrogen peroxide instead.
Easiest way to protect yourself is to wash your hands with soap and water. Of course, we say it every time. The act of scrubbing can wash away any virus. Don't forget it.
I used to be so annoyed with my mom when she'd tell me, wash your hands whenever I get home. Now I thank her.
Yes, of course.
Maria, thanks so much. We're back after this.
Welcome back, everybody. We are taking a live look outside. Beautiful look at our beautiful cold city. We're off to a chilly start today. But what we want to talk about is next week. Monday and Tuesday are going to take the cold to a whole new level.
Yeah, we haven't had a day where we've been stuck in the single digits yet. We haven't been that cold. The coldest of the air. Looks like it's going to arrive around MLK Day early next week. Okay. So let's talk about that and the First Alert 6 weather days that go along with it. As of right now, you can see where we're at.
Yeah.
Just hang out.
I can just hang out.
There you go. All right.
I mind.
I love having her here. It's great. I mean, but 9 degrees for the high on Monday. It does look like some sub-zero morning lows are possible each day. I'd lean more towards Tuesday morning as all the kids are heading back to school to start to shorten school week next week. Wind chills as cold as 20 below each morning as well. So this will be the coldest air of the season. We're going to be watching this all week. A first alert to those couple of days there. They're going to be pretty nasty. Not saying it's great out there right now. It's 5 with a feels like temperature of 10 below. We've been this cold many times so far this season, and from here we'll try to rebound. This is a little new. Right up here in west central Iowa, just getting grazed by some of these 20 below zero wind chills. So pretty nasty for folks waking up Atlantic on north this morning. Current temperatures, you can see those are pretty cold. Air temperatures of 10 to 15 below along I-90 up to our north. That cold air is trying to drop. Thank goodness the sun is rising, so those two things will balance each other out a little bit, and all that'll slide off towards the east. But there's a little skiff of snow that we had overnight in some of our northern counties, and then that brought the cold air in behind it. You can see a lot of ice flowing down the Missouri. We're going to settle into the single digits this morning and climb up to about 18 for the high. That is it today, all things considered. And You look at the 3-day forecast, and we'll go to 37 on Wednesday. We may start with some clouds on Wednesday, and that'll lead to a cold morning, but then we clear those out and should get a chance to warm up. I love the way this 37 is looking right now because we're going to have a bit of a southwest wind, and that will help out a little bit. 10 to 15 mile per hour southwest wind. Great way to warm up this time of year, and it looks like we'll get a chance to with some sunshine into the afternoon. 48 then on Thursday, and some warmer numbers here as we make our way a little deeper into the 10-day. Notice 48 Thursday, 47 on Friday, but a little more cold air there lurking on the weekend. So enjoy Thursday, enjoy Friday. Those right now looking like some of the warmest numbers we may see for a little while.
And then we've been talking about how we just have not been getting snow. We're getting the cold, and then it comes back too next week.
That's the thing. We get another blast of cold. Usually there's a little bit of snow or something to lead these in. They drag the cold air behind. The only opportunity we have for snow in the next 10 days looks like it'll be Saturday morning as this first little blast of cold air arrives. Now, something small could show up next week that just isn't showing up in the 10-day forecast just yet. Wouldn't surprise me, but no monster storm systems lurking anywhere. The first alert days are about the cold, and well, through yesterday, now we're number 2 for the lowest snowfall on record through this late in the season. This is through yesterday. There's only one year where we've had less snowfall, and you can see, look at the 50s. We have 53, 54, 55. 3 of the numbers on this list are from right there in the center of the 1950s. So it'll be interesting to see if we start a little trend there or what. But it is lacking snow out there. Well, obviously, that's file video in the background. But
we have not seen that.
We will take whatever snow we can get. I know private plow drivers, those that
they're like waiting for the business.
Yeah, wanting a little bit. It'd be nice. We need something around here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, somebody got a little something to our north, right?
Yeah, it wasn't completely dry overnight, and that means as you're heading out the door, you do have some areas that need to use a little extra caution with some of that patchy snow coverage. So let's look at the quad box. You can see things picking up. 144th and West Dodge on the top left corner of your screen. 90th and Dodge busy as well on the bottom left. Look at the top right here. This is near Takema, and you can see there's a little bit of some snow, not a lot, but enough that there's could be some slick spots as you work your way toward this part of the area. And it is north and east of the metro where we are looking at some of that being in place. So I kind of drew this because the road conditions map is not really reflecting reality at this point. So let's show you what's actually happening. And you can see dry roads that are in place in the metro, off to the south, off to the west. Once you get north of I-80 in Iowa and north of Highway 30 in Nebraska, that's where you're seeing some of that patchy coverage of the snow that is in place. So use a little extra caution. You head out the door this morning. You're driving around Harrison, Shelby counties as you work your way north from there. Similar story there into portions of eastern Nebraska as well. We zoom in a little bit tighter. We've got in the metro our issue being this power outage that's in place. And oh boy, look at the center. It's continuing to have some problems with this being in place. Traffic signals not working here. And look at how bad things are moving through that stretch. And here's the problem. Usually when we would see this kind of slowdown showing up on a major road like this, I'd say, well, you can avoid this and use one of the surrounding roads. But look at this. This is smack in the middle of where this power outage is in place. So when you start talking about alternate routes, there aren't great options. I can't tell you though, the interstate looks like it's moving along pretty well. We have some slowdowns on L, but it's not as bad. Maybe that's a route you can go. Pacific, it's near the edge of the box. It's probably not quite as bad as what we've got there on Central. Let's see if I can get you up that way. Well, we're going the other way, but I can tell you that's not as bad. Center is where we are looking at the worst delays showing up at this point. Not just because of the power outage, but just in general as we get the commute underway. So we'll keep an eye on this and keep you posted when we can get power restored to those areas.
Yeah, hoping it'll be back on soon. All right,
fingers
Jared.
crossed.
Yeah, Jared, thanks. Happening today, it is another chance to make your voice heard. Gretna is holding a by-mail election on changes to how the Nebraska Crossing Good Life District operates. City leaders are looking to create a program that gives them more control over taxes in the district. Ballots were mailed out to all Gretna residents, so if you still have yours, you'll need to get it out in the Election Commission office or a drop box by 5 p.m.
Well, more progress in Omaha's streetcar project. Streetcar Authority approved $26.7 million for Sampson Construction to build a vehicle maintenance facility. This would house up to 6 streetcars at a time. Construction on the maintenance building is expected to happen when the work on the Harney and Farnham bridges over I-80 get underway. Well, you've probably seen pets dressed in those adorable, cute outfits before, right?
And if you haven't done it yourself, today is the perfect day to do so. We'll tell you why when we come back.
Welcome back, everybody. Happening today, it's National Dress Up Your Pet Day.
If you haven't dressed up your pet before, what are you doing? Experts say you can start small by introducing a bandana or a bow. You can help see how much your best friend is going to tolerate. And don't worry, they won't be shy. Yeah, they're not going to be shy about letting you know if they've had too much. Make sure to never restrict their movements or your pet's ability, of course, to breathe when accessorizing.
All right, here's a challenge. If you want to take it up a notch, you can dress up in a matching outfit with your pet, Erin. Yes.
Oh my gosh,
if
you just gave me an idea.
Of the lucky pet owners with an animal who doesn't mind sporting fancy duds, you could do it in style and share a photo to social media with the hashtag National Dress Up Your Pet Day. Do you guys have
Genius.
do you guys have the same color? Like you can match today?
He has a green sweater. I don't have the same shade of green, but I could try.
We've got to make this happen.
There you go.
So, talking, does your fur babies like them?
I think we dressed him up as a dinosaur one time, but that was when he was young. Now he'd get grumpy in his old age. He'll just rip it off.
That's what I've
He doesn't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I like for Christmas putting a little Santa hat on my pet rock.
On your pet rock.
Yes.
There you go.
There's no problems either.
No, it doesn't
pushback
argue
at
at all.
It's all good.
They are cute. And they're warm this time of year.
You know what? And it is multifunctional too. He has a little raincoat.
Yeah.
He has a little puffer jacket. Gotta be thinking. He has a little.
Gotta keep him warm.
You have to. All right, we're giving you some ideas, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. We got to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
All right. Have a great start to your Tuesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts with breaking news.
Breaking this morning, more than 1,100 people are without power in Douglas County as we speak. You can see the OPPD outage map. The main area affected is the area around where I-80 and I-680 meet. We're not sure at this moment the cause of the outage. We'll be sure to first alert you to more details as we get them. Well, good morning to you. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. Let's get a check on traffic that could be affected by this outage. Well, Jarrett Lansford.
Yeah, well, got some issues with that. First, I want to start with a crash. This is New Blair High as you're making your way right near 680, and it says you're heading northbound where we have this crash in place, though both directions are being slowed. There you can see the scene. We do have a tow truck that's on the scene as well, but it is causing all sorts of issues there near Blair High and 680. Be prepared for that if you're heading into that area. We did mention the power outage that's in place out there, and you can see how Center is really slowing down as a result of that right near 114th and 120th. Be ready for delays and treat any intersections without power as an always stop. Rusty.
All right, thanks, Jared. It's plenty cold out there this morning. Temperatures down in the single digits in most spots. We had clear skies, a little bit of cloud cover overnight gave way to the clear skies, so 5 feels like 10 below. The wind isn't all that strong, folks. Just know any wind is going to knock these numbers back. Look at Carroll, consistently been about 20 to 25 below zero with the wind chills this morning. Tacoma down to 0, feels like 16 below, so everybody's got a sub-zero wind chill if you feel the wind. Wind gusts, thank goodness, are going to back off here the rest of the day and shouldn't be much of an issue this afternoon and even during the overnight. Nothing stronger than about 10 miles per hour. So first alert to air temperatures down near 4 here as we start off. We'll climb to 13 by noon, 18 by 4 o'clock this afternoon. That's it for the high today. But this is the coldest day for the rest of the week. How about 37 Wednesday, 48 on Thursday, and 47 by Friday. Cold air's back, though, by the weekend. A couple of First Alert 6 weather days early next week for the coldest air of the season as well. We're back in about a half hour.